Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. Also, a quick reminder to not to forget to check out Otter Spirit with their beautiful bracelets if you're looking for a gift for yourself or someone else. Also, the beautiful Rose Forever roses. There are links down below for you to check those out. All right, so let's get into the reading and see what's going on for Capricorn, see what messages that we have. Okay, so we have the Sun and we have the Page of Wands, and then we had the Three of Cups. So communicating the happiness or what makes you happy to the people that are around you. For some reason, I feel like it has a lot to do with happiness. It feels like it has to do with communication. I feel that it's time for you to speak up, and it's time for you to say, I almost feel like it's saying out loud to yourself what makes you happy. I feel that it's also communicating to the people that you have around you. And for some reason, I'm feeling like it's talking about gratitude, being grateful for the people that you have around you. Also being grateful for all of the positive things that you have in your life. We have the Sun card, which represents happiness and positivity. And the Page of Wands can represent communication. It can represent talking. It can represent getting the message out there. It also is about taking new actions. I feel like you've been holding back. I feel like you haven't been expressing yourself. I feel like you haven't been really celebrating your wins, because the Three of Cups can also represent celebration and being happy about all of those wins that you've had lately. And if you're saying you don't have any wins, then that's about looking at your mindset and saying, okay, my first thing is that I'm going to negative and I don't have any wins. But you do have wins. You do have wins. It's switching your mindset to focusing on all of your wins. You have a beautiful place to live. You have a roof over your head. You have food in your cupboards. You have sheets on your bed. You have towels. It's just like, it's all about perspective and how you're looking at things. And you're saying, well, I haven't won because I bought a lottery ticket and so I lost. So it's like, it's not looking for like those huge things. You know what I mean? It's just like, sometimes you have to look at the little things. It's like sometimes you have to look at all of those positive wins that you have that are going for you. It's about switching your mindset. It's about being in the energy of the Sun and looking at things through a positive lens. Is everything rainbows and unicorns? No. We have challenges in our life, okay? We have things that go on in our life that are going to test us and say, okay, am I going to flip out right now? Am I going to be consumed by this energy? And yeah, sometimes we just have to be irritated. Sometimes we just have to be angry, and it's okay to have those days. Some days it's those days where you're just feeling the weight of the world and you're feeling heavy and you're feeling sad, and that's okay. It's acknowledge those feelings, embrace those feelings, and that's okay. But then it's like getting yourself back on track. I just want to say that the biggest change for me is just looking at things through the positive has made a huge difference in my life, a massive difference in my life. It's just the outlook that I've been having, it just turns things around, like so. It turns things around. It's turned things around for me so much, and it's made difficult things so much easier, and it's made difficult things really not difficult. And it's just like, I know it's going to work out. I know that it's going to happen for me. I know that it's going to work out. I know that the universe will align things for me, and like I'm being challenged right now, but it's okay. Like it's going to work out. And it's just made life so much better for me. And I was definitely a very negative person. And I was always feeling like, yeah, the universe is just trying to punish me, and I'm being punished for this and punished for that and punished because I did this or didn't do this, or like it's just my nature to be in that way. But it's like when you turn things around and you look at things differently, right? And you celebrate all of those positive things that you have going on in your life, and you speak out loud and you say that I'm so thankful for those things, it really makes a difference. I know that it sounds crazy, especially if you're in the frame of mind where you're in a negative frame of mind. I know that it seems hard. And like I said, there are days where we're going to struggle. There's days that are going to be hard, and that's okay. But it's about getting yourself back on track. And I also feel like it's writing down those things that make you happy or make you feel good so that you can see those things, and maybe creating a vision board if you want to. One of these days I'm going to do that. But I kind of have the vision board. Like I like to write things down. So I like to write the things that I want to have happen down. And get yourself in that energy of and celebrating and surrounding yourself with positive people or positive. The biggest thing that I can say is just being careful of what you expose yourself to. Like, what information are you taking in on the internet, and, just in daily life, what are those things that you are exposing yourself to? And is it negativity or is it positivity? And it's about being more aware of those things that you are subjecting yourself to, because I feel that makes a huge difference too. All right. We had the cards just spill out. Okay. So we had these two cards came out. So we have the Death card, which is reversed. So that means that you're holding on to something, okay? Because the Death card way means the ending to something, and it's about letting something go so that you can bring in transformation and change. But this card came out reversed. So that means you're holding on to something. You're holding on to something. You're holding on to some anger. You're holding on to some frustration. You're holding on to a memory of something that bothered you. And I feel like it's because this card came out next to it with it. So there's something that happened that either somebody said or somebody did or something from the past that you're holding on to, and you're replaying it in your head. You're replaying it in your head over and over and over again. And it's almost like you're punishing yourself. And maybe in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm just trying to find an answer. Or I'm trying to change the outcome, or I'm trying to, figure out why this happened, or, and maybe it's your comfort zone where you feel that when you're replaying this image or this moment in your head, that when you're doing that, like for some reason, it makes you feel better. Like it makes you feel safe. That's your comfort zone. Like I've said many times before in my readings, is that my comfort zone for me was feeling less than, it was feeling useless, it was feeling like nothing was ever going to work for me. It was about feeling uncomfortable if positive things happened to me. It was feeling uncomfortable if somebody told me a compliment. It was feeling uncomfortable if things aligned for me, because I was like, okay, when's the bad going to happen? Like I was always waiting for the bad. I was always and it felt comfortable for me when I reminded myself of all of those. I had 2 narcissistic parents, and all of that negativity that, my parents, brought into my life, and I would replay that over and over and over and over and over again. And it was just like, I just lived in that. And anytime I started to feel happy, it was like, yep, I'm going to go back to, when my father sat there for 2 hours and told me that I was useless, I would never amount to anything, I would never be anything. And just for 2 hours, he told me nothing but negative things. And I would replay that in my mind again and again and again, every time I felt happy. So I was holding on to that for a very long time, and I finally have let that go. And it's just so freeing. And it's like, what? It's like, why did I even listen to that? Like, he's nobody. Like, he's just trying to make himself feel better. He was angry that I wasn't following through with what he wanted me to do. I was going off on my own, doing my own thing, and he didn't like that. So he was trying to cut me down, and he did. It worked for many decades. Those words worked. They cut me like a knife. And you know what? Not anymore. I'm free. I set free. You know what? His words mean nothing. So I feel that the same thing for you is that you are holding on to something that you are not letting go of, and that you are replaying that. It's something that somebody did or said that affected you, and you keep replaying that in your mind, and you're having trouble moving on from that. And you're having trouble, that's why you're having trouble focusing on this energy here. Like you're having trouble with that celebration and being happy and being in the sun energy and celebrating all of your positives, because you can't see that because you're so blinded by this reversed death card. Again, take what resonates, leave what does not. If this does not resonate for you, that's totally fine. If it does and it makes sense, then definitely something for you to think about, right? To think about. That's what I had to realize, is that why am I doing this to myself? Why am I punishing myself? Why am I keeping myself in this energy? I don't need to do that. I needed to set myself free, right? Set yourself free. I love that this Three of Swords come out. Time to set yourself free. So that is, right, that you are holding on to this Three of Swords, that you don't want to let that go, that you feel that maybe in some way you feel that you deserve this Three of Swords. Like you're like, yeah, like I deserve this energy that is around you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't deserve any of that. You know what you deserve is you deserve the Sun card, and you deserve the Three of Cups. That's what you deserve. Turn that mindset around and say, that's what I deserve. That's what I need to focus on. You have to be strong in this moment, and you have to be confident in this moment, and you have to believe in yourself in this moment in order to be able to let this go, right? These are the times when you learn the most about yourself, when you feel that you're at the bottom of the barrel and there's no place to go, and you're like, where do I go from here? How do I change things? How do I do things? For me, I'm not a doctor or a therapist. This is just what worked for me, is I would literally just cry it out. I would be bawling on the floor, and I'd just be crying for like 2 hours, and my face was like so swollen. And I didn't care. But I released, I let go, and you know what? I moved on from it. We all release and let things go in our own way. But you have to be strong and confident and know that this is what you need to do, because this is how the cards are laying, is that this Strength card, right, is looking right at this Three of Swords and saying, it is time for me to let this go. It is time for me to move on. It's time for me to like look and see how this Three of Swords energy, whatever this is that may represent to you, right, that could have to do with this, where it's something that has happened that you haven't let go of, that why am I holding on to this? Why I like facing it. Again, I'm not telling you what you have to do. You have to do what is right for you. But I know that for me in my journey, that's what I had to do, is I had to face that. And for some people, it might be just like writing things down and getting it all out on paper and then burning that piece of paper. It could just be, sometimes I just scream in my car. My windows are rolled up and no one's around me. But you know what? It helped. It worked. Sometimes it's screaming in your pillow. Sometimes it's crying it out. Sometimes it's just going for a really nice long walk by yourself. And lately, I've always had music on, and lately I just haven't had the music on, and I've had quiet moments where I've been able to think through things and sort through things, and that's really helped me a lot, right? It's figuring out what works best for you. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is reversed. I feel like it's just kind of being in your energy, right? And just being in a space and just kind of like, for some reason, like that just came through. It's just like being in your space and kind of looking at things on your own and not worrying about what's going on in the outside world, and looking all around you, not focusing on one thing, not focusing on this Three of Swords, because when it's this way, it's like this person is focusing deeply on this pentacle here. But I feel like this way, it's about freedom, and it's about letting go, and it's like looking all around you and exploring things from a different set of eyes, and just not hyper focusing on the Three of Swords, right? Not focusing on that, not dwelling on that, like just letting it go. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. I love it. And then let's grab one more. We have 5 of Pentacles. Again, I feel like that is taking that time to yourself. And then we're going to close out with one more. And then we have the 6 of Wands, which came out reversed. So I feel like this victory and success is yours, but you're not there yet. Like, I feel like this is yours, but you're not there yet. Like, you're not, obviously, if you're going through this 3 of Swords and this reverse Death card, that you're not feeling, right? You're not feeling success and victory, and you're not rising above a situation, and like you're kind of in the situation. This is where you're going to learn the most. This is where you're really going to learn about yourself. You're really going to learn about what it is that you're doing. It's like what it is that you're focusing on, and that to see the bigger picture. I feel like this is kind of like see the bigger picture about how this one thing is controlling so much of what's going on with you. And to say, you know what, I'm not going to let that control me, and facing that, right? Feeling strong, feeling confident, and facing that. And I do feel that taking time to yourself to sort like not having the busyness of the world around you and having all of that chatter. I feel like it's kind of taking some time for yourself to sort that through, or to script about it, or write about it, write a diary about it, just grab a piece of paper and write about it. That's definitely something that helped me on my journey, is like I would just write down things that I was feeling, whether they were negative or they were positive, or things that I believed, right? Things that I believed that were, that I believed I was supposed to be punished. And, it was just, basically that's how my father made me feel. So it's like, no, like he had his own issues going on. He was never able to work through those before he passed away. He was never able to work through his things. He was never able to get past them. But that was on him. And I took on a lot of that, but I realized that it wasn't my responsibility to take that on and to deal with that I was just kind of, I needed to put a shield up from that and let that bounce off me. So we're all on our own journey, and I just feel like a lot of times it's so funny that I became a hairdresser in my 40s when I was getting ready to get my divorce, because I wanted to have a career for myself. And I just feel like it relates so many times to things in life. And especially with this journey that we're on, is that same with the hairdresser, is like, I can have a product that works amazing for my hair and it looks really great, but someone else could use it and it doesn't work for them at all. And I've definitely had that happen for me, is that people would say, oh, you got to try this product. You got to try this product. And I tried on my hair and I was like, oh my gosh, like this didn't work at all. It was terrible. And I feel like same with these readings and same with this advice, excuse me, is that you have to do what works best for you. You have to do what you feel called to do, what you feel called to focus on, what you feel is important to you. You are on your own journey. We are all unique and we are all on our own journey, and all of this information is out there for us. And sometimes it can become overwhelming, but sometimes things will click and resonate for us. And that's what we need to trust ourselves to focus on and say, this information resonates for me. And this is what I need to do for me. And don't apologize for that, right? Stay true to your belief and say, this is what works for me. This is what makes me happy. This is what is helping me on my journey. We have Elephant Spirit, learning from the past. And I feel like that has to go with learning from the past, is I feel like you've kind of tried to do things the way that other people have suggested and the way that other people have wanted you to do things. But I feel like this is your chance to break free and do things the way that you feel is right for you. That you feel is on your journey and is going to help you on your journey to reach that Sun card and that 3 of Cups card and that 10 of Pentacles card, right? It's all there for the taking. It's there for you to have and for you to enjoy this life. But, you have to choose which that path is for you. Okay, so that's crazy. So we have choice with a star. When I just said you have to choose, and I looked down and it said choice. So it's your choice, and it's understanding the consequences and learning from the past. Just like with this Elephant Spirit, is learning from the past, is that when you try to follow somebody else's path, that it's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. because you have to do it your own way. You're on your own path, and you're on your own journey, and you're on your own quest. And you have to do what you feel is right for you, for what you feel inside for you that works best for you. Because sometimes we put too much pressure, like, oh, it worked for so-and-so, why isn't it working for me? And then that starts to put us in this energy of frustration. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. So, all right, we have come to the edge, and I feel, and there's all of these hearts that are flying all around here. And I feel like it's come to the edge, and take chances and push yourself, not in a negative way, but to say, you know what, I want to think outside of the box. I want to do things differently. I want to change things up. If you're tired of the way things are going and what's happening with you, it's up to you to make these choices and these changes. It's up for you to do things differently. Just like I said before, I think in another reading that I was saying is that if how your pattern is going throughout the day isn't working for you, it's change it up. And just like for me, like I would always get up, and the first thing I would do is get on my phone, and then I would scroll through social media, and then I would play my game. And so then it was just like, I feel kind of groggy when I get up. Now, before I get up, I say affirmations, and I say my gratitude for what I am thankful for everything that I have in my life. And I don't get up out of bed until I feel positive. This is what works for me, okay? This may not work for you, and that's completely fine. Like I said, we're all on our own path, and it's not for us to judge how other people do things, but it's to learn from them and say, okay, what's going to work for me? And for me, it's like, I don't like to get up until I feel positive, and I feel good, and I feel thankful, and I feel like I'm ready to move. And I don't look at my phone unless I really have to. But I try to ignore my phone, and I get up, and I'm trying to change things up, to do things differently. And a lot of times now, before I go to bed, I'm not watching TV, I'm not on my phone, and I just lay down, and I think I'm grateful for all of the things. Like last night, I was out on my patio, and I was looking up at the stars, and I was so grateful for all of those things. And I was saying what I wanted to manifest, what I wanted to bring in, what I was grateful for. I'm changing things up, and I'm telling you, it's changed my life for me. And this may work for you. And it's just, if the way things are going doesn't work for you, change up your pattern. It doesn't mean you have to change everything. What's one thing that you can change, right? That's what I said before. Don't get up and look at your phone right away. Give yourself 5 minutes, right? Just say, okay, even give yourself a minute. Say, okay, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to go get dressed, or go to the bathroom, or get your coffee, or have breakfast, and then look at your phone. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but I'm just saying, like, when you start to change your patterns, that's when you feel the possibilities for new things to come in, and that you're changing the way, like you're not on autopilot anymore, right? Get off of autopilot. If you don't like the autopilot that you're on, you can change it. I hope I'm making sense. All right, so let's close out. Let's do this one, and I feel like this one. So let's do these two, psychic tarot cards. One thing that I've been doing for myself is that when I get up and I do my routines, and then I sit down, and that's why I do where I show just the cards is where I just pick cards for myself every morning, and I get a tarot message for myself. I just pick a few cards, and I really like that, and I look forward to that each morning. And that may be something that you may be interested in, is getting, your own tarot deck and getting into the tarot, and maybe pulling a card. Don't put too much into it, right? Don't just pick the card and look at it and, try and decipher what it is, and then let it go. Don't be obsessed by it. Don't be crazy about it, especially if it's like a death card, or it's an eight of cups, or it's, if you feel that it's a negative card, like, don't be too much, like, try and look at it as, oh, okay, so today I'm letting something go. Like, I'm letting some negative emotions go, or I'm letting something go, right? Just try and look at it as that, not being too crazy with it. But I feel like that's something that's really helped me too, and I enjoy doing that every morning. And then the next morning when I get up, I leave the cards out on my table, and then I look at them, and I see how they related to my day the previous day. And that's kind of a cool thing that I'm doing for myself. I'm definitely having my own tarot cards, obviously, has helped me a lot. And that may be something that could help you too. All right, we have foundation and achievements, the 4 of Wands, and then we have material harvest, the 9 of Pentacles, okay? So we have something that is very important is to have that strong foundation and beliefs in yourself that you can make anything happen, right? We got this beautiful rainbow that's going on here, and it's having those achievements within yourself. And I feel like it's saying, okay, my daily routine is not working for me, so I'm going to change it up. And so being proud of yourself by saying, you know what, I'm so proud of myself that I saw that I was tired of that hamster wheel and I changed things up and I'm doing things differently and I'm having a different outlook. And it's that material harvest that you have that with the work that you've been doing and having that abundance and feeling that abundance, just like we have the Sun card there and the 3 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. So it's that progression that you're making, that if you want change, which I've always said in my readings, that if you want change, you have to be change. You can't expect things to change if you're always thinking the same way. And it's about doing things differently and feeling, you know, what are those things that help you to feel good about yourself and help you to feel motivated and say, you know what, this is something that makes me happy today and this is what I want to follow through with. So I'm wearing my narwhal shirt today. Like, how cute is my narwhal? Like, he made me feel really cute today. So I wanted to wear my narwhal, right? And so that made me happy. And maybe you have some, like, I haven't worn my narwhal in years. And so I was like, you know what? I want to wear him today. So looking at those things and say, you know what? This makes me happy, so I'm going to do it, right? That this is what brings me like this 3 of Cups energy and the Sun energy and like this rainbow energy here, right? Laying that solid foundation for yourself and knowing that you can do anything that you set your mind to, and that it's up to you to make these choices and these changes in your life that brings you happiness, okay? That it's up to you, and to look at that 3 of Swords just like this, to look at that 3 of Swords and say, this is no longer acceptable to me. I'm ready to move on, right? That's what we have to do within ourselves and say, I'm not going to let that bother me, with that 5 of Swords above that, and then that reverse Death card, that it's time to bring in that transformation within yourself. But there are things that you have to let go of first, right? That there are things that you are holding on to, and that's okay. We always have things that we're holding on to, but it's realizing, okay, maybe that's why you've been thinking about it, is that it's bubbling to the surface and it's trying to make you aware of it, and it's time for you to work through it. Again, you have to do what you feel is right for you. I'm not telling you what you have to do, but definitely things to think about. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time, and I wish you the best in your journey.